kidding, too low. Look at that. You got John Riggs here. How you feeling? Playing Ace Combat 7 Skies Unknown, available now for various platforms, including this for the PlayStation 4. I'm playing this for the PlayStation 4 because there's a PSVR mode for PlayStation VR. But before we do that, we're going to play the single-player mission a little bit. If you've never played an Ace Combat game, you can start right on with this one. You can use one of the analog sticks to look around you. Love the visuals in this game. Absolutely stunning, really. It's great to start out with the single-player mode, because that gets you used to the controls, gets you used to how you can, fly and shoot, and which, missiles, and how to select other missiles, depending on which aircraft you're flying as. Also, when you start the game, when you first pop it in, now the game is there, but then it has to kind of install from the install your VR missions, your multiplayer, and more. So while that's doing that, you may as well play at least the first mission. And I'm going to show you that right here too. And even still, it's a super fun. So you just go through. It's just great to look at, just to fly around. Your radar on the side will tell you where your enemies are. You will not lock onto your friends, so to speak. But you're just going to have fun just flying around and shooting things. And even after you pass the mission, the cool thing is after you pass the mission, it gives you a great visual of it, replays the mission you just did, but then you can control the camera angle, so you can zoom around, fast forward a little bit, even do slow motion shots, and a whole lot more too. So there gives you plenty of reasons to play this game as a single-player mission, even though you're picking it up exclusively for the PlayStation VR mode, which, by the way, are only 3 missions. But it's not just 3 missions. There's some extra things you can do in VR, and I'll cover all of those here later on in this video, too. Again, absolutely stunning. The visuals, the graphics. It's fun just to fly through clouds, because you can. This is a quick taste of the, the after the mission replay factor, and it also has some visual stats too, so you can look at the visual stats on how you flew and your formation, and it's just interesting. It's fascinating. I'm sure people really dig this. All right, let's check out the PlayStation VR mode. Headset on. All right, we're here in the hangar. This is where we're going to choose our aircraft and more. Of course, when you first play it, you only have the option of your one. So we'll start with that. On an aircraft carrier, and we're off. And you can look at the deal, and when you try to turn, the very first time I turned here, I about fell out of my seat. I was not expecting how crisp these graphics are. As far as PlayStation VR goes, probably the best graphics I've ever seen for PlayStation VR. I mean, it's completely immersive, really, especially if you have a Thrustmaster, and if you look at your hands in game, it's like you're holding a Thrustmaster. So if you have a Thrustmaster or some kind of flight stick for the PlayStation 4, that would make it even more. I'm actually just playing this through a DualShock. But this is the first mission. And all 3 missions, spoiler alert, are kind of about the same. You're just flying around shooting the other guys before they shoot you. And hey, that's what Ace Combat's all about. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Of course, you can lock onto your target and then shoot your missiles. You can just fire your machine guns anytime you want to. It's kind of cool in the VR mode too. Like when you go into the clouds, you get like the rain sprinkles, the mist on your windshield. Sometimes it even ices over, so you have to like get out of your clouds. And well, that's bad news. If you're facing straight down, it might crash into the ocean. Your arrow there, as you're seeing flying around, that's telling you where your next target is. And you can easily select other targets. If there's one closer to you, that's fine too. Boy, I'm just glad it's not like Top Gun where you have to like land the airplane in VR mode.
Hey, Wax guy, I will take it from here.
Oh, good lord, are you serious?
You too fast, lower speed.
you have to land in VR mode. Oh, no, you know what? It's actually very, very simple. I didn't have an issue with it whatsoever. They coach you on the way in, and then you stop a lot quicker than you think, so you should be fine. But when I first saw this, I was like, oh, no. The bane of my Top Gun existence. I gotta land. All right. Well, that's fine. Move on to the next mission here. We saw a little bit of this at the very beginning of this video. This one has more land involved than the first mission, but again, more of the same. And then the more you play it, the more you really do get a feel for how to fly around and shoot the other the competitors, the bad guys, if you will. Now you do have your radar to use to your advantage, which helps. But seriously, just pure sight is perfect. Like once you lock on, once you have your enemy aircraft in sight, you know, the cool thing is with VR, you just keep an eye on them and then adjust accordingly. And after a while, it really does become kind of, you know, muscle memory on, oh, they're over there, then I just have to, you know, move my controller a certain way, and you'll just lock onto them. And never mind what's happening around you, upside down, backwards, none of that matters, as long as you keep your enemy in target. And it's actually, you do get used to it, I promise. If this is the kind of game that may make you a little queasy at first, it might be. It really might be. This second mission not only has airplanes, but also has the air to ground that you have to destroy as well. So that was a kind of fun feature on this one. And the third mission just looks gorgeous. The third mission, you're flying in, there's mountainous, snowy terrain, and there's some cloud coverage in there too. And seriously, again, it's another mission where you have to shoot down the fighters that are trying to shoot you down first. You can't have that happen, right? With the mountainous terrain, that certainly adds an extra depth of, you better watch out to where you're going, because that might be bad news for you if you if you're too close to the ground. The final boss battle, if you will, features what's called ghosts. They're stealth. They have no radar, so you have to use your sight. This battle actually took me quite a while, but again, just with perseverance and know-how, you should be able to do it just fine. Again, 3 missions for you for your Ace Combat 7, exclusively for the PlayStation VR for PSVR mode, but this is available on other platforms as well. And like I said, there are 3 missions for your PlayStation VR with Ace Combat 7, but that doesn't tell the entire story with your PSVR. There's also a free flight mode. If you just want to fly around those 3 missions, you just want to fly around the mountainous terrain or this kind of lagoon beach area, don't have to worry about enemies. You don't have to worry about, you know, following orders. You just fly around, wave to the boats that are way down there.
Caution. Pull up.
Can you shoot them? I mean, you can try. They're not going to go down, though. And how about you don't be a jerk to these people who are just trying to make an honest living fishing, huh? But you do have the option to tease them, I suppose. How about that? It just looks fun. Just looks fun to fly around. I had a lot of fun with just the free flight mode. Certainly a great way to either practice flying. Like for my kids, for instance, they don't have to worry about battling anyone. They could just fly around and have some fun. And, you know, if they happen to crash, no big deal. Can you fly through the trees? Yes, you can. All right, I was just curious.
Pull up.
How about these trees? Yep. And there's also something called the Airshow mode. This is like your airfare. This is your the airplane's doing some tricky stunts here, and you can go to anywhere on the aircraft carrier. You can be from any position and call for different maneuvers. Here's the Split S. Ain't that something? I remember in my town growing up, we had an airfare every year, and I absolutely loved going to see these, you know, these expert pilots doing these different maneuvers. A lot of fun. Barrel roll? I'm sure we can do that too. Well, Ace Combat 7, Skies Unknown. It's available right now for multiple platforms. There's your barrel roll. That's a proper barrel roll. That's a proper barrel roll. Look at that. It's available right now, but it also does have the PSVR mode on the PlayStation 4, so this footage was courtesy of the PlayStation 4, and also big thanks to Namco Bandai for providing me a review copy of this game to check out. If you dig PSVR, I'm a huge supporter of the PlayStation VR. Make sure you're subscribed for more PSVR videos in the near future. Make sure you're subscribed to the PSVR podcast that we do every once in a while. And I thank you for watching. Take care. We'll see you.